Glad you came to connect to Emily today. Okay, so last time we talked about going on keto for 2 weeks, and then I spoke to my doctor a couple days later, and my endocrinologist, he goes, "Don't do keto." I was like, "Don't tell me that. Don't tell me." He said, "Don't do it. I'm telling you right now." He goes, "If you do it," he goes, "your insulin resistance is that's where your problems are. And it's really not going to help you. And as soon as you go off that, whatever weight you did take off, you're going to gain it right back as soon as you add carbs back into your diet." I was like, "Don't say that." Oh my gosh, I had chips that day. Okay, that's what happened. I'm sure if it wasn't, I don't know if it was chips, but I can guarantee you, him giving me permission, I ate some sort of carbs that day. It was over. Oh yeah, it was McDonald's. I believe it was McDonald's. I think I had chicken nuggets and French fries. Yeah. Okay. So keto, no. I don't want to lose a bunch of weight just to get it right back. I thought it would be like a good. So here was my thinking, because I've done keto before and I did drop a lot of weight quickly. I also was on Ozempic for a while, dropped a bunch of weight, and I didn't gain all that weight back. And people typically do. I'm talking to you because I'm kind of trying to convince myself, like, should I try it again? Well, when it happened today, because I already had, so for breakfast, I had 4 nice yolky eggs and 1 Japanese sweet potatoes. Those are the best. Okay. It's in between a sweet potato and a regular potato, in my opinion. It's not as sweet and mushy, and it's white with a red skin. So good. I eat it with the skin too to get all the fiber, and some diced onion and bell pepper. That was breakfast. Now you see that wouldn't work for keto. So here's the thing. Definitely wouldn't work for keto, but it does work if I'm really going to stick to my gut health food. Instead of eating bad carbohydrates, complex carbs, we could do that. So instead of mashed potatoes, regular potatoes, I'll have a Japanese sweet potato. Instead of, I can't stand it when I start exiting out things, but let's just keep it at complex carbs. And if I have rice, it'll be brown rice. Or there was a little trick I learned where you can use like a little regular rice and like a lot of cauliflower rice, mix that together. So then it's like less carbs. The only thing about brown rice is it just tastes a little different. It's like a nuttier flavor. It's good for some things. I love it with, what is that? That sushi poke with it over brown rice. I've never had it with over white rice, but over brown rice it's so nutty and good, and I feel like I'll eat it like that, but that's almost the only way I like it. I tried using brown rice to make a fried rice. It didn't work. I don't know. Maybe it works for other people. It didn't work for me. And then I tried making like a Spanish rice with it. Again, it's that outer shell. Just doesn't work for all things. But anyways, so that's where I am with that. I don't even want to get on the scale right now because I'm scared. Here's what this is what the doctor also told me. So he really wants me to start Mounjaro, which is basically a cousin of Ozempic. So I would totally lose weight, but there's just some medical things in there. Like my grandfather had thyroid cancer, and it says specifically on all of those that if anyone in your family has died of thyroid cancer, it's a specific one. And I don't know if my grandfather had that specific one, but either way, it says don't take it, because all the lab rats had ended up getting thyroid tumors on their thyroid. So here's the thing with my grandfather. Hey, this is really interesting. If you want to know something interesting. So in the 1930s, my grandfather had severe acne, and they started doing radiation treatments Okay, if you know where I'm going with this. So 1930 radiation treatments. We already kind of thinking, yeah. So they gave him radiation treatments, cleared up his acne from here all the way down. And he had severe acne and eczema to the point where my mom says they actually had to, when he was a child, they had to tie him to the bed when he slept, because if he wasn't tied to the bed, he would wake up with like horrible scratches everywhere. Like he was super sensitive skinned. And anyways, radiation cleared it up, cleared it up. It also gave him thyroid cancer. And yeah, it was, I don't know. I know it was just a really sad and a hard way for him to go. And it was really hard for my mom. And I never met him. And it was all because of the new treatment that came out. Yeah, it worked great. But nobody saw those complications coming. So with Ozempic and Mounjaro and Tiwagri wave, whatever the other one is. Okay, I don't know what it's called. We just don't know yet, right? And because of my family's experience, okay. And so when I was reading looking all this stuff, because my grandfather had that means basically he died from radiation exposure, right? Complications of radiation exposure, which then puts that into, it's like still in my genes. Like it's kind of crazy. Like it travels into, I got his DNA. He's still, and it's probably still in there a little bit, little traces. That's why like my aunt died of some crazy cancers. There's some weird, we have some weird illnesses from his yeah. So I don't want to be the next oops experiment. Right now, what I'm trying to do with this channel, what I'm trying to do all around, is I want to live as long as I can. I'm building a beautiful future here for myself, my family, and for others in the community, for nationwide, for eventually around the world. How am I going to do that if I'm not healthy? Part of that is losing weight because I'm diabetic. I have type 2 diabetes, and just recently found out I have gastritis, or that's what they say. I think there's something else going on. Um, okay, I'm just gonna tell you because, okay, tell me this. I looked up what are the causes of gastritis, and two things I don't even know what the heck they were. And then the other things on there was overuse of what is it, the NAISDSs, the anti-inflammatories. I haven't used those for over a year because I have been learning more about my gut health and good things to put in there for my microbiome. And it says those are the gut killers. So guess what I did? Threw them all away. I have not taken ibuprofen or any kind of anti-inflammatory, Advil. What are some of the others? Naproxen. I haven't taken any of those for well over a year. If I have a lot of pain and it has to be pretty dear, I'll take a Tylenol. I'll take a couple Tylenol. That's it. That is it. And the other cause is alcohol usage. There again, if I drink, it's like a handful of times in the year. Okay, handful. And three of those handfuls, there might be 2 days that I actually have a few drinks and I'm like, oh, I'm feeling it a little bit. But those others are like, I have a glass of wine when I'm at a function or something, which a lot of times I don't even finish. That would be the other time. So it can't be that. So what else is causing the inflammation? Or the redness or whatever, because they did take some things out. So gross thinking about it when they went in and did the endoscopy. So I don't know. Luckily, I have a friend who's a doctor. Thank gosh. I talked to her just the other day, and she went through my past history, and she was like, when the doctor found out you had the gastritis that was just diagnosed, did he still ask you to take the Mounjaro? And I said, yeah. She goes, what? So they are known to cause gastritis and gastroparesis. And she was like, gastroparesis, it really gets into like, even the smells will cause. I go, oh my gosh, I totally had forgotten. When I was on Ozempic, I remember the first day it happened. One day I was talking to a board member of mine, and I remember talking right here. And downstairs, my oldest must have been cooking bacon. And I was like, at first I was like, oh, they're cooking bacon. And I was talking to him. And then instantly I started getting sick. I was so sick on Ozempic. I was so sick. I don't think you guys understand. I was so sick that when I finally got off it and started feeling better, I walked into the new year going, oh my gosh, last year, I have all this energy. I feel great. Like I felt like, Emily could do anything. It was because I had been so incredibly sick on Ozempic. I would drive around with a bucket in my car because I would throw up. It was all hours of the night. I would be up, strenuous. It was horrible. I don't want to feel like that again. Since then, I haven't taken any medication, but my diabetes is slowly kind of creeping up. So December, I started this workout channel. Really was to keep me consistently working out so that I could start to reel back in the diabetes from continuing to climb and not have to take any medication again. But I promised myself, if that doesn't work, I have to be open to taking medication because I have to be there for my child. I have to be there for my adult children. I have to be there for me, and I have to be there for my organization and the women we serve. So if I have to consider medication, I will. But I also can't be super sick because of the medication I take. So the best option here is through my diet and exercise, and also brain exercise, because brain health has a lot to do with your body health and how we react to stress, which stress is your response to a demand. And I'm getting better and better every day with how I react and how I respond and how I think, right? Because of my continual growth and personal development. But it takes time. And so it's kind of like, okay, am I not doing the keto now? I guess I'm back to where I was with, sorry guys, my weight loss might take a little bit longer than I thought, but maybe this is the right way to go. Just making that lifestyle change and just eating healthy, good foods and doing something that's sustainable for me. Sustainable is not cutting everything out, eating what's good, working on meditation so that you can control your mind. And that's why I got to bring the intensati out, because that's huge. It's exercise for my brain and my body, and I want to share that with all of you. I have the whole thing ready. I had one revelation, and I think there's a possibility if I do a live streaming of it, then I might be able to incorporate the music and do it. So that might be what I'm going to do, and I'm going to work on that this week and see if I can do that, because that is intensati. Inten for intention, sati for awareness and mindfulness, shouting affirmations, because the affirmations I have written down to say with the music, like after I was done saying, I was like, ooh, I feel good. I feel good. And so then whatever movements I'm doing with it, I'm not exactly sure what those are going to be yet. So I need to work on that this week. But really, it's just being able to get my stuff to work with me to push it out to you. So I'm going to work on that this week. I'm going to get some of my fitness things, what I've been doing at the gym, out today. And thanks for connecting to Emily. Bye.